welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Happy Thursday. We're so excited to jump into our top stories. Dubai Metro will restore its full service.
As well, stop posting if you're unwilling to talk about Gaza.
The company who's pampered their staff on International Labour Day and it's getting a mixed reaction.
As well, the desert is turning green finally.
Yes, it is. And later on in the show, we are super excited to welcome Haifa. As you know her, Fly with Haifa, and we're talking about her journey standing for Palestine and facing fears.
Speaking of that, it's day 215 since the genocide began on October 7 in Gaza. The current death toll stands at 34,844, while the number of injured people is 78,404, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
The weather today, it's fair to partly cloudy at times. There will be a decrease in temperatures, especially westward towards this afternoon with highs of 36 today. But don't rest easy. There will be a gradual increase towards the weekend, again, with temperatures inching towards highs of 40 degrees on Saturday. It's getting hot. Before we jump into our top stories, Farah this morning told me something I never knew about you, and I feel like we have a medical anomaly on the show. And it all started because you lost your glasses.
Yes, so I lost my glasses, and for the past few days, I would look at my laptop and I would get the worst headache. And by the way, getting new glasses honestly was worrying me. You know, because like usually if you have like a minus degree or a plus degree, it would be okay. You would go order the glasses according to your degree, and it's like, you're done.
Okay.
But I have a plus and a minus degree in this eye and in this eye.
This is what boggled me. So I used to have, by the way, I got laser. I used to have minus 3.75 and minus 350. So both minuses, both different, but like both minuses. But you're saying you have, so you're nearsighted
and
farsighted.
That is true.
So what can you see?
That's the thing. See, people all the time go like, Farah, how's that possible? And I figured this out actually while I was having my driver's license done. So, you know, for Shatavia, before, you know, like when you're having your driver's license tests done and so on, you do the eye test. And in the eye test, the doctor was like, you are a plus and a minus. And I'm like, what? Well, that kind of like makes sense because even like when it's like close or far, they're still kind of like blurry. So I went to the eye doctor and he was like, oh yeah, you are. And I have a plus 1.5 and a minus 1.2.
So you can like, we use a teleprompter, by the way. So you struggle to see the teleprompter and you struggle with text in front of you. Oh, that's annoying.
True. It is annoying.
It is annoying, I get
so
it.
that is why, you know, like looking at the teleprompter right now, it's kind of like blurry to me. And that's why I keep on telling Hisham, like, please make the text bigger because I can't see. Yeah.
We need to make the text bigger if you can't see it. That's okay though, right? You can.
That's okay though.
That's fine. Okay.
That's fine. But if it's like smaller, oh my God, because I would just like see as if like scribbles around, you know, I wouldn't see anything. It would be like kind of like weird. I'd be like, oh my God, how can I see? But because, you know, it's when it's bigger and because I've read them before getting on the show.
So now I get why there were panic stations when you thought you'd lost your glasses. Fair enough.
Yes.
Speaking of panic stations, we actually have good news on the metro front.
So, Dubai's metro full service will be restored. Yes, you guys, following the storm that has hit the UAE on April 16th, metro services have been disrupted. And also, although it might have recovered on no time, 4 metro stations remained closed. In light of that, the Dubai Roads Authority and Transport Authority, RTA, has announced that the Dubai Metro will resume full operations on May 28th.
On passive equity, Mashriq and energy stations have remained closed, as you guys are keenly aware. So the RTA states that these stations will reopen once all maintenance and safety tests are complete.
As well, you guys, in the meantime, the RTA will continue to provide direct bus services with over 150 buses operating on 3 routes, of course, which is exciting during metro operation hours. These buses will cater to passengers traveling between Business Bay Metro Station and on passive Mall of the Emirates, Mashriq, Equity, Dubai Internet City, and Al Khail Metro stations.
If this is part of your route, we know you have been keenly waiting for this news. So thank you to RTA for bringing it to us. And also follow the RTA specifically on their social channels for all updates. Don't follow rumors. That is their urge request to you.
That is true. The other day, I remember I was out with my friends and I thought that the metro station was open. And I wanted to get back using the metro. And I look and I'm like, oh my God, Equity metro station is closed. So I think honestly, like, yes, if we are like maybe more aware and with actual social media channels like RTA, they're very active on their social media channels, specifically X. They just like keep on giving us updates that is like very much needed throughout, which is cool.
So those 4 stations will be closed, but they'll reopen on May 28th. So if that's part of your commute, we know it's a little bit longer, but also at least you have the date there that you can look forward to. Jumping into our next story, this got a lot of attention yesterday. Stop posting if you're unwilling to speak about Gaza. Dubai-based Palestinian author Dima Al-Alami, who we've had sitting in this chair not too long ago, talking about her new book. She took a stand on Instagram yesterday. She asked people to be more mindful of the space you occupy on social media for 24 hours. Her statement reads, "Please refrain from posting about anything unrelated to Rafah, Gaza, occupied Palestine for the next 24 hours at the very least." She's basically saying don't share your kids, not your breakfast, not your business, not your literacy tips, not your workouts, not your outfits, and not your birthday celebrations.
The post continued, "What is happening in Rafah is unbelievable and it requires everyone's full attention." Her post comes as we are witnessing Israeli forces are bombing the last remaining safe zone in Gaza. The Rafah crossing has been seized and aid to Gaza, of course, including life-saving support from the World Health Organization, has been stopped.
She ended the post by saying, there is a clear distinction between the right content to post and the wrong one, and her post received a lot of praise. Just a bit of background on Dima herself. So we had her here sitting. She is the author of a book. She helped curate it, titled 48 Stories of Exile from Palestine, which actually was inspired by Haji Hadia, who was a Palestinian woman who was killed by an Israeli sniper in 2024. The book basically is an amazing collaboration of people throughout the world just telling their stories of their exile. And her post, I think people are praising it. People are saying, let's be real in terms of what we're posting and what's actually what we're witnessing in this time in our lives.
I honestly agree with her because we've said it before and we will say it again, that it's not easy to maybe because we try to be as sympathetic and empathetic as possible. It's not that easy, but of course, sometimes we do forget that, there's a genocide happening to a lot of people and a lot of kids are dying, a lot of people are dying. The numbers keep on increasing and it's not stopping. So we're hoping for the ceasefire that they have signed recently to actually come into place and take action.
Yeah, so true. I think because it's been going on since October 7th, and I saw a post pre this, and it was, saying, it's really difficult to feel as though your business as usual when you're so keenly aware of what's happening. But I think we're just at such a critical juncture right now in terms of ceasefire. Is it happening? Is it not? We know that aid has stopped. We know that the World Health Organization has said that they're not even being allowed to get fuel into the country, which could be a disaster. So I think these 48 hours are so crucial. So that is basically the request, is that if you're going to post, make it something that will have an impact. 8:39. We're actually super excited to have our guest on the show this morning because she was Fly with Haifa by CEO. You might follow her on Instagram, and she has been to the border and she's bringing Palestinians back to the UAE. So we're super excited for that chat. So do stay tuned.
I'm actually really excited because you know what? It's very rare to find content creators and influencers actually taking their role or their title as an influencer to actually influence people, right? And with what's happening in Gaza, it's continuously breaking everyone's hearts. I am sure it's breaking everyone's heart. It's breaking my heart. It's breaking your heart. We talk about it all the time, and we try as much as we can to voice it out to people, to just like maybe give a stand in the situation of what's happening. And of course, in that way, we are helping.
Speaking of helping, we're going to jump in to our next story. This is something a company did, which is incredible, but it's getting a mixed reaction.
So, lavish pampering for staff on International Labor Day. Sometimes a bit of recognition from your boss can not only make you feel better, but also work harder. You know, reverse psychology, trust me. But can recognition go too far to luxury? So this company treated their staff to a day of luxuries on International Labor Day.
So 16 construction workers from World Star Holding got the millionaire treatment for a day as a thank you for their hard work and efforts in the company.
As well, they put on tailored suits and headed down to Dubai Marina in some awesome sports car, and in true Dubai fashion, they as well had a party on a yacht.
They were even pampered with a lavish holiday at a top-notch 5-star hotel.
Which is very exciting. Honestly, I would say this is reverse psychology. Because like if you, let's say like there is, I've took this in my psychology class, is positive reinforcement. You know, positive reinforcement really does work on a lot of people, not only employees, but as well like your friends, your boyfriend, your husband. Like if you are gonna tell your boyfriend, hey, I really like it when you get me flowers, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to get her more flowers. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be like, oh yeah, but you don't do this, you don't do that, he's gonna be like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think it's really cool, but it's interesting the reaction, because well, some people are saying they deserve it, but then people are making the juxtaposition between the type of work that they do and then how amazing the day was. One question said, how do they only choose? They only chose 16 people, but then maybe they were like the very best employees.
Could be.
So that's a tricky one.
Yeah, I think honestly could be, you know, like because like if they're gonna get all of the employees, then I think that would be like a lot.
They say it's a strategy, so now everyone will try and get that experience next year. So everyone will work really hard.
Exactly. See, that is positive reinforcement, you guys. And by the way, it's not. For example, like I do that to my sister.
I think that's a little bit of a tricky one though, because if you only take, so surely if everyone's working hard, everyone should benefit from the bonus.
That is true, but you know, of course, I'm sure that everyone for sure worked hard, you know, but some of them maybe hit their targets and some of them did not hit their targets. You know what I mean?
There's a company here, a real estate company, and I think they bring the best sellers to. It's only because I follow one of the realtors, and I think they brought her to like this amazing villa in Thailand, like all expensive paid for 10 days.
Oh,
but let's say if it's a company of like 400 or 500 people, and like 6 people get it. Do you think? Would you rather that, or would you rather like you're not all going to Thailand on an all expensive paid gift, but you all get a 500 dirham Amazon gift card?
I would prefer
one for all or all for one.
I don't think one for all would be good, because then I think, you know, like if let's say like the company knows that, you know what, the company is providing them with this, if you guys hit this target, so the whole company as a whole is going to work really extra hard to get to that, right? So of course, you know, number one, it's going to increase the productivity of the whole company as a whole, and not only that as well, the let's say like 5 people are going to win. Example, right?
It creates competition.
Exactly, which is, I would say, healthy competition. As long as it's healthy competition, it's good.
I think from an outsider, like I think it creates competition, great, but actually, like that is what a prize. They'll remember that for the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
Jump into the comments to have a look. As always, they are giving. Jumping into our next story, the desert is turning green. So it flooded the streets and some of your homes, unfortunately, and it also looks like Storm Hader had a lasting impact on our desert. Well, temporarily, of course. You might have noticed this on your drive to work this morning or over the weekend. The desert is growing and it's actually turning green.
Now, footage of the desert turning green is going viral, and some people cannot believe what they are seeing. Of course, I wouldn't believe it either. From shades of brown to unmissable tufts of green in every direction, which is, see, this reminds me of one thing as I was reading it, is that, you know what, the quote that says there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's true. I know that case is probably like, oh God, Farah, you're so delusional.
No, well, as in, because it's green, it's turning beautiful. I like that. It's more positive. It's a lot more positive than the comments that we got on it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Guys, just be positive like I am. You know, delusion is always okay. Let me say it in a Gen Z way. Delulu is a Trululu. It's saying. It's a Gen Z saying. It's like,
I've heard this Delulu thing.
Yeah, Delulu is the Trululu. Or it can be Delulu is a Sululu, so that means it's going to be Trululu.
I like the positivity choice on it. I don't know about the words. I don't know if I can get behind the Delulu words, but I like the positivity spin. So this, I saw these videos, I saw photos of Saudi. I think it was on like an English page, and they were like, Saudi's going green. And I was like, no way, not possible, not a hope. But even here, you'll notice like beside Al Khail Road, that's usually always brown. It's now got loads and loads of tufts of green that you'd nearly think it was green. It won't last into the summer. I'm sure it will turn brown after this weekend, but it's just amazing. I cannot believe there's so much growth possible.
That's true, but you as well never know. I just told you, just be delusional. So that would be the Sululu, and then it would be Trululu, which is going to be the truth. And I think that's what everyone. The UAE is, you know, they go like, oh yeah, the UAE is all desert. But then look at this. How do you explain this?
Back to your phrase, Delulu is the Sululu to be Trulu. Is there like an Arabic translation of that?
There is. Wait.
Is there actually?
Okay, I think I can translate it. It's like, but no. There is, but it wouldn't be as native and as like, you know, like Gen Z as like, you know, Delulu is the Sululu, so it's gonna be Trululu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like this is like all over TikTok. Like I would like scroll through TikTok and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm Delulu. Let's be Delulu is a Trululu, so it's gonna be the Sululu. You know? Yeah. Which is what happens. I think I can be delusional as well, and I think my generation is very delusional. I am delusional.
I think every generation has created their own delusion.
Yeah.
And they all differ. Because we're born at a different time.
What was your delusion when you were younger?
No, well, I just meant like every generation has its own way of thinking.
Okay.
But so for like, isn't it like the older generation think, so you work hard, make money, work till you're 60, work till you're 70, and like, and that's what life's about, and that's what we should do. The younger generation think, I'm not having that. What an absolutely ridiculous concept. Why on earth would you work till you're 70? And then the older generation is like, because that's what we do. And then the younger generation is like, no, like find a different path, work-life balance. And then it's like, okay, well, if you can find a path, a work-life balance, and you're able to support your family, then absolutely. So I think the younger generation has it right, but I just think as long as they can find the path, then it makes sense.
What is one thing that you think from this generation is absolutely delusional? Like you would never, ever, ever do like?
TikTok dance on my own page.
So I think that's one thing I am gonna get Casey to do, you guys, and I will be posting it.
I have done some for Lovin. Apologies to anyone who's ever seen them. Like I'm not made for TikTok dances. But like, and I'll do them. Like I don't mind, but it's just not something I would do personally. But I know that if I was growing up and I was a teenager and TikTok was a thing, what fun! Like so fun to get with your friends together and make up dances. Like literally, that like I know I would have loved that growing up, but past it. Not for me now. We do different things.
Well, Casey, I'm sorry to say that, but I will actually get you to have a TikTok dance, not a TikTok dance.
I've done it, Farah.
But you need to do it with me. You know, thank God no one knows my TikTok. It's a very weird undercover name.
Yeah.
If anyone finds it, just pretend you don't know me.
No problem.
You don't see me. Pretend. Yeah, I had once a lady. My hair was like puffy, and it was like not okay. It was not okay. And she comes and she was like, "Oh my God, are you Farah from Snap?"
What?
And I was like, "What?
Are you Snap famous?"
I had another Snap show before, like.
Oh,
Yeah, in
from
Arabic.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
your personal.
No. I'm
Okay,
not
got
Snap
you.
famous. I had another Snap show. And it was a very big
your old
Snap
job.
show.
Yeah.
My old job, right?
Yeah.
And she came and I was at Carrefour in Mall of the Emirates because I used to live back in Barsha Heights. And she was like, oh my God, are you Farah from Snap? I look at her with, oh my God, my hair was so ugly. I looked so bad. I was in pajamas because I didn't care, you know. I'm like, what? No, that's not me. She goes like, yeah, that's you. I'm like, no, that's not me. Then she was walking away, looking at me like,
oh, the poor lady.
whoever you are, if you're watching, that was me. Sorry, I lied. That was me. I just looked bad.
Do you think you do the same now? Do you think you still like? If someone comes up to you and you're not looking your best, do you think you've changed?
I think I changed. I think I'm more like accepting of myself. I'm more like, okay, because I had as well a lot of pimples on my face. So I was so embarrassed. It was not like there was no makeup to hide it. There was nothing to hide it. My dark circles were like horrific. So if anyone would come up now, I'd be like, yeah, hi.
You know what? We've come full circle because we were talking about the differences in generations.
Yeah.
But one thing I think we'll all agree is that like everyone goes through the insecurities at a certain age.
Yeah.
Like 16, like teenagers, 20s. And then as you get older, I'll just tell you, you lose it.
Yeah, that's like, I don't
comes
care.
with age. You lose the shame.
I don't
you
care.
lose the, you really grow the I don't care. And I think as you get older and older and older, like my mother, for example, if you've ever met her, she's in her prime. She's turning 75 tomorrow, by the way.
Oh,
and
happy birthday.
she literally has the biggest I don't care attitude. She'll tell you exactly what she's thinking. And that's just not to her family. She'll like, anyone but it's just that like, and I'm sure all our parents are the same.
Yeah.
And they'll always tell us like, and it's like the biggest advice I would have given, I wish I could have given to my 16-year-old self is like, care less.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter and no one else is thinking like you're thinking.
Oh my God, at 16 I thought the world revolved around me. At my birthday I would have like outfit changes. I was extra. I'm embarrassed, you guys. I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
That still works now. I get it.
Yeah, no, even
You're ahead of your time.
I was actually, and even when I was a kid, I have pictures. Like like when you're a child, your parents take pictures of you. So I would have like pictures of my birthday at McDonald's, and I would have an outfit change. I was extra.
What amazing memories to have.
I know. Why did my parents allow me to? But.
Well, I mean, if they hadn't, it would have been a whole different ballgame. But
Agreed.
parents, if you're watching, just allow your kids to do whatever they want. They'll turn out okay, I'm sure. Okay, 8:53. We are so excited to welcome our guest. He's just arrived into the studios at Lovin Dubai. We're in production studio, by the way. Fly with Haifa. She's going to be talking to us about her journey of standing with Palestine and also her own journey of overcoming fears, which I believe we've just touched on. She will be with us after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Here we go. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Haifa Bessio, aka Fly with Haifa. Today we're talking about her stand for Palestine, her journey to the Palestinian border to bring Palestinians back to the UAE. What an incredible story. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have this chat.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we should thank you a lot, of course. So, but before, I want to ask you a question. You visited the Palestinian border to help bring Palestinians to the UAE.
Yeah.
Can you describe your journey and how was it like?
Of course. First of all, I just want to say that I'm actually not going to sit here and like take credit for this mission because I was lucky to be able to be on that flight that brought people here. And since the war started, I was just like dreaming about Gaza every single day and my people. I'm originally from there, never managed to visit. So I was honored, I was lucky, I was just simply on that flight to be with them. And we came back. And it's, one of the initiatives to bring people to the UAE and get treatment. So a lot of the patients in the flight are cancer patients. We flew in, it was a big flight, it was empty-ish, some empty seats, but it was filled with a lot of doctors, nurses, ICU doctors, hospital empty beds, and then on the way back it was filled with these heroes. I really think the people of Gaza are supernatural beings, like amazing, teaching us all around the world so much. So we got to fill the flight with them, and it became like a flying hospital on the way back. And it was just beyond anything I expected. Their grace, their kindness, like they were giving me their own blankets because it was cold. They were helping me coming out of war. They were sweet and strong and like calm. So
before we kind of jump into your own personal experience, like we share the stories of the UAE helping Palestinians come here, but what do you just have an overview of what that situation looks like in terms of maybe numbers or how did you get involved with the process?
I guess I was chosen. Maybe it's the prayers or the heart longing also that helped. A few people did. And we were on it. And a lot of people are actually still in the UAE, in the humanitarian city in Abu Dhabi, where they're getting support. They get support, they send me their pictures, like wearing new dresses, going to the mall. They have daily trips to go to the mall. So I'm yet to visit that. I'll definitely let you guys know because again, I think anything the people of Gaza touch turns really special. Like we are seeing what they are doing to the world. And I can share more about that. I'll wait for the other questions. I know I can sometimes.
Can you describe the scene maybe on ground when you arrived? And what was it like, I guess, meeting people for the first time?
When we got there, I think like the human urge is just to run and see humans. Like I was 40 minutes away from the border and I couldn't really go, there's sadly, like, we live in a world where some things get political or there are borders and that stops you. So I couldn't like do that urge that, what my heart wanted was to follow them. So I had to just be there and wait till they are able to leave the ma'bar. What is that? A border?
A border, yeah.
The border and come closer to us. And by the way, like everybody, like the pilot, the staff on the plane, everyone, it's like, we are waiting to see our heroes. Everyone is waiting. Like, did they come? Did they come? And then people came and there were ambulances ready to have them. And we would just have conversations with them, tell us about the story. And, all they would talk about when I met them is the family that's inside Gaza still. They're like, my brother is still there, my husband. I can't believe I left them. But they also had to leave for like different treatment for either if they were wounded or the cancer.
All right. Well, what are like some of the challenges that you have faced? Because of course it was not very like easy peasy. Get to the border, get the people.
Yeah.
and come to the UAE. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced getting people? Because I can imagine, maybe you would have wanted to get everyone to the UAE.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
To be honest, it was like a government initiative. So a lot of the back end work was done by them. I think the biggest challenge, again, is not being able to bring everyone in. And I remember it was just like really cold in there. So I was imagining how things are for a lot of people who are now in tents. Like it's a rough, physical situation. And I think the most challenging thing is to see the sorrow in their eyes of leaving some family behind. I think these are people more than any people in the world who just want to see their people be okay and safe. They're simple. And they're being also very smart, and so many geniuses come out of there. And I would say that was the most challenging thing, not being able to take everybody. And maybe for me personally, the most challenging thing is that when these videos came out, a lot of people would message me that they need support and help. And I'm like, it's really not in my hands. And I wish there's more that I can do. But I'm sure so many of us feel helpless. And that feeling is really difficult to sit with, seeing fellow human beings get bombed and get treated in such injustices and denied aid and food and water, and us not being able to do what we want. It's very distressing, and it's very new maybe to all of us to witness a live genocide take place. It's confusing. It's also confronting. What parts of me do I need to enhance to show up better? How am I showing up for the future as a Palestinian, as an Arab, as a human being? So I think all of us went through these processes. For me, I remember like the first month I couldn't get out of bed. It was really like, I think the whole world going through a big awakening. And sometimes they say before the light comes in, it gets really, really dark. Or at least that's one thought I'm telling myself, at least to make myself feel better or stay patient. I just want to say that something amazing that happened when I got to the border. I was with the kids. I'm like, I just want to be useful. I'm just here. So I was like playing with the kids. And then someone just like ding, ding, ding did this to my shoulder. And I look back, and by coincidence, I find out that she's my mom's cousin who was chosen to also leave the country. And I had no idea. And she just hugged me and was crying. She's like, Haifa, you have no idea what we just experienced. And it was a moment of, I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or imagining or hallucinating or if it's reality. But I got, like, there was family also there.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
It was interesting because I think that feeling of helplessness that you've described is so similar for a lot of people who are going through the same. And I'm glad that you touched on a positive moment as well, because I think that's something that we kind of tend to forget to do, that there's at least there's happiness coming, is that you are helping people. Was there any more kind of special moments that you remember that kind of there was a little bit of light in the darkness?
I think it was just so cute how they would like share in the airplane, like share food, and the staff were in like complete service mode. Everyone, like if there's an air hostess, I think she felt like they were beyond. Everyone really felt chosen. So it's to see everyone's super excitement, and they're like, I want to come back on another trip. I want to come back on another trip. I think it's not only the people on the flight that were chosen who were to leave Gaza, but also the people who were to help them were as lucky. And just hearing their stories, like I remember a girl told me that her phone was bombed and she really wants another phone or iPad. And I met a six-year-old twins, a girl and boy, and the girl and her mom was like, my girl is a YouTuber. I'm like, what kind of YouTube? She's like, dance. So she would keep showing me the dance, and we stayed in touch. So now they keep sending me like videos of her dancing. So like Mahmoud Darwish says, على هذه الأرض ما يستحق الحياة. On this land, this land is worthy and deserves life, so much life. Palestine is a very sacred place historically, religiously, and so much. And people just want to live. sadly, this land holds a lot of conflict. This is how much life needs and wants to be there. And hopefully the people of Palestine get to live it one day. Because so many people, other generations like me, didn't really get to breathe. Like, what does it feel to have a country, my people, everybody speaking Palestinian? I can go and eat kak utsi. I can go and buy my things without being threatened, without your heart being squeezed from the stress and injustices and seeing guns, around, because that's what I saw when I visited. It's not only in Gaza. Let's not forget all of Palestine that's going through this suffering as well. And I really hope within my lifetime I get to see this stop, because these people just want to live. And this land deserves to hear the sound of peace and birds instead of bombs 24/7. Enough is enough, really.
Wow, you're very knowledgeable, I must say, and you speak so well. MashaAllah. And inshallah you actually will soon visit Palestine without bombs, and you'll be able to just do all of the things that you would do. So of course, you know that Bella Hadid posted your speech, because you do speak so well. I mean, Casey
I hope that for your people.
Inshallah.
There's no words.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
We every day mention, the numbers, but we as well do not forget that there are souls that are passing away. And this is all due to the genocide and the Israel invasion on Gaza. And Casey's getting really emotional right now. So, which is, of course, it is not easy, seeing the horrific videos. So, again, you're very knowledgeable. You spoke so well. You made everyone emotional. And Bella Hadid, of course, because she reposted that. So how do you feel about that? Of course, because not all content creators or influencers or celebrities do take their platform to talk about it. A lot of celebrities go a bit, I would say, more on the careful side.
Yeah.
Just to avoid, as well, we know that Bella Hadid, Dior kind of cut ties with her. Right, and she stepped back from modeling recently, if you aware of that. So, and she, of course, the main thing is that she reposted your speech. How do you feel about that? Tell us more.
I mean, it felt so good and surreal. I don't know how the video got to her. I'm personally a very big fan of Bella Hadid exactly for that reason. I know what it means, especially to be honestly, also in the West and speak up. I know the baggage that could come with, or the distress into her nervous system, into her career, into her safety, and she still did it, and she does it so gracefully, and she speaks up. So for us as the Palestinian youth, that gives us a lot of encouragement, and it's very courageous and powerful. So I'm a big fan. I'm a very big fan of her, and to see that she reposted something, it was really amazing. I'm like, okay, cool. Because, for me, when the war started, actually, it was a choice. You speak up and risk losing some stuff, or no. But I'm like, they are losing their houses. I will speak up. I'll risk it all. Everyone's talking about the algorithm and shadow banned. I've been personally talking about it for years before even this war. I think I was shadow banned even before, but we're not victims of it. We can always rise up all together. And just like Bella Hadid does it, and anybody, by the way, who speaks up, especially from Hollywood, I was watching a speech today from the Oscars, it is risky. We know who this field is controlled by, and that's why I'm personally very passionate about the media and studied the media, because a lot of it is a mission of brainwashing the collective and how we show up. It's a state of hypnotizing. So when you want to shut the voice of the people, then whoever is they can, share their agenda more. And this is a state of hypnotizing the people. We see something, we're like, oh yeah, that's trending. That's what everyone is saying. Let me be that. Oh, zombie mode. But then with people come and break into that matrix, break into that system, like Bella Hadid, like you, like me, like anybody, then we're doing some glitch to the system, and they really don't like that. That's why they're trying to shut everyone down. And I keep saying, actually, in the Arab world, I'm going to take this chance to like get real here. You know, I love doing that. In the Arab world, we say we want to be strong. We say we want to rise up. We are strong. We are rising up, but we also need to unite more. So if we see creators speaking up, then we do need the audience support and we need brand support. I have been told, oh, this brand doesn't want to, let's say for now, work with you because you're very outspoken about Palestine. Maybe post on the stories, but not really on the feeds. Why should I hide speaking for the truth? And if we don't unite over it, then what's happening? And again, with every risk that was taken from my place, and it's actually a tough situation to be as an influencer and creator. Like even my posting was, I had many campaigns that were stopped. I couldn't do my normal, you know, day-to-day stuff because it felt so weird. Like, how can I film food and they're starving? It's just like I never reached or experienced what I experienced since 10 years since I started. And the risk is honorable. The sacrifice is honorable. Because what am I sacrificing? They're sacrificing their bodies and homes. What is that next to them?
True. It is a really unique situation, I believe, that influencers and content creators are in. And you speak of unity, and you touched on brands, and you also spoke about unity and, you know, audience support. Have you been surprised by the reaction of your community, the good and the bad? What has it been like, and has it surprised you?
Actually, it was whenever I spoke up about Palestine, it was very supportive by a lot of people. And for me, before I post anything about Palestine, it's such a slow process on my end, in my head. And I even talked to like my team about it. Like, why am I posting this? Is it for ego or to show up as a hero or what? I mean, there's so much. It's not only not speaking up, but why am I speaking up and in what way? And yeah. But whenever I did, and managed to, because it's a bit tough for me to like speak about it. Sometimes very easy and sometimes very confused. Like, and I'm just being honest about how it feels. It was, the videos were seen by people a lot. Was my intention for them to like go viral and bring a lot of people? Like when I posted that video that went crazy viral, I had no idea that it would. Even when I went in the very beginning, I was like, oh, should I film? I don't have anyone to help me film. The mics weren't working. I'm like, I'm just going to connect, and maybe just take some shots to share the beauty of these people with the world. And that's the process of what happened. The tough situation is when a lot of brands that honestly we work with and have signed yearly contracts with are on the list, and people say you should boycott them or something. Some of them are not super direct into the boycott things, but then how can we get out of the yearly contracts? Or some things you say no to, at the same time it's our living. So it's like we're in the middle. If you say something right or wrong, like it's an interesting situation to be in. And at the same time, it was very awakening for me to like, you know, we have al-mu'min al-qawi khayrun min al-mu'min al-da'if. Like it brought up, which means a strong believer is better than a weak believer. So it was a question for me of how can I be stronger, have branch out into other businesses where I'm not only reliant on this, and face that fear of maybe I'll fail, maybe that, and just get into it. So I think it was an activation for so many of us. And my biggest dream is to go back to Gaza and help rebuild it. Even if I open a center for hugs, I'm happy with that. Honestly, like I just want to go there. I got to travel all around the world, and I'm sad I never got to visit my family's hometown, Gaza.
Do you go one day?
So, how can you say? Of course, you know, like going to the border and getting the people from Gaza to UAE, for sure must have changed something in you. How did it change? What did it install in you? Something that was not there before?
I think it reminded me of the importance of grace, because of how they were, how they walked to the plane. Sometimes you would imagine people coming out of such a situation, even eating each other, or like, but they were really in their grace, like king, queen energy, everyone. So it just instilled some calmness, some sabr, some patience, togetherness, and again, my people kind of feeling. I talk a lot about diversity and that we're all one, we all have red blood. And maybe a part of course, that's so true. And a part of it was a defense mechanism because I was denied, like, in a way to easily go back or live in the country. And with them, us breathing the same air felt like connecting to my roots. I'm definitely so much more connected to my roots.
Yes.
That I don't know if you felt that way as well. And I don't know if you've connected to the Palestinian Arab roots. You know what's the biggest difference I've seen? In my travels, when I used to travel before the war, and I used to walk in the street or I'm with a driver going somewhere and they're like, where are you from? I'm like, Palestine. They would go like, wait, Pakistan? I'm like, no, Palestine. They're like, wait, where's that? And I'm like, you know, Jordan, Egypt. I try not to mention the other country. We're there. And I take it as a chance to spread the awareness. And they weren't sure. Mm-hmm. And after the war, I've traveled to Africa. I've traveled to Zanzibar and Bali. And whenever I mention I'm from Palestine, it's like the whole street gets goosebumps. Their body language changes. They stand in front of me. Sister, I'm so sorry. I'm with you. I want to be with you. Yes. Oh my God. No, she's from Gaza. She's from Palestine. Everyone shows up. I'm like, what is happening? It's surreal. I really got to experience the difference before and after. That's why I think the whole world, the whole history, I think, is going through a before and after of this war. But I really hope it stops here. Because these people do not deserve to be the victims of our awakening.
Agreed. That's true.
Such powerful words, and unfortunately that brings us to the end of our interview, but thank you for being so brutally honest in terms of everything that you've experienced personally and also for standing up for Palestine. Thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me and, you know, opening your platform too to talk about this, because Lovin Dubai was also really one of the platforms using their voice for that cause. So thank you. Thank you to the whole team.
Thank you to the team. Thank you, Farah, for joining us today. And that brings us to the end of the show. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.